Y'all can't hear my fan, right?
You good? You all set?
Good. All right, cool. All right, motherfuckers.
Cedric has no fans.
Welcome to another episode of fucking True Story Bros. One of your boys, Sir Wednesday, Scourge of the Internet. And we have a wonderful guest. So once we go through the roll call, I will give him a proper fucking introduction. I'm going to pass it on to my boy with in the murder room, live from New Jersey. It's your boy. Go for it.
Geeks and freaks, we are the geeks of comedy. I am the ninja that's taking it with you, Echo Ninja. As usual from the murder room, USA. Next, phone, stop listening to me. My phone was like, murder room. I was like, no. and then what?
I said the government's after your ass now because you said murder room.
And I'm going to pass it to the guy who has such a modern life right now. Huh? Talking to you, Kwai-Chan King.
I'm so lost right now. Sorry, guys. I'm not high, I swear. What's going on, guys? Man has no nickname here. Chilling. Had a long day today, and we're ready to have fun. I'm going to go over to Mr. Chocolate Thunder over there, Sir Wednesday.
Sir Wednesday, thank you.
Thunder.
Boom! So, yes, once again, we have a great show today, and we have the honor of one of my good and closest friends. This person's very near and dear to my heart. Love this guy. He decided to bless us with his presence. He is an international DJ, stand-up comedian, and an audio engineer extraordinaire. Give it up for my boy, DJ Storm.
I do that little jiggle shit, but I don't know how to do that shit right.
I got a quick question for you, bro.
Mm.
Do you have any 12th century Mongolian daggers in your possession right now?
Not as of currently, but
he knows why I'm asking, and it's gonna be one of the true stories we throw out there later on in this fucking episode. But yeah, bro, thanks for coming out. We're glad to have you. What's been up during this quarantine? What's life like in the life of I would say international DJ, but nobody ain't going no goddamn where. So you're
exactly. What I do is from time to time I'll just put on one of these masks just so I feel like an Asian woman, like just to switch it up from time to time. Like I just be doing weird shit around the house and just working.
Oh man.
It's been a bit. You know what's funny though? A lot of people say that they live with their partners and stuff, and things get tense and things get hectic now that they're stuck in the same bubble and they can't get out. And I'm like, I'm fortunate that I got a dope ass chick, and I'm just like, we watch Harry Potter movies, and I get my dick sucked like every morning. Like that's
Okay,
that's all we do.
That'd be, son.
That's beautiful. You just be chilling all back like, Spelliamus.
And Chris, you said you're the one who's not smoking.
Exactly.
Right?
Yo, you stoned like a whore in the Bible right now. I can tell.
Me? No way. I'm ready for later though.
To be continued. Dun, dun, dun.
Tune in next week.
I just got in from grocery shopping and shit, so I'm tired of now. I've been up since like 7 this morning.
Grocery shopping up until now?
No, I was grocery shopping, but I was up since 7 this morning. I had work and shit. Got out of work and went straight into grocery shopping. Just got back in, put everything away, and now I'm here. So just chilling. How long have you been doing everything that you do? Like, how long have you been DJing? How long have you been engineering? Things like that?
Things kind of came in stages where first I was DJing, and then I was DJing as I was going to art school, and I was just it was a nightmare. And one of my family members was like, "Stupid, you do this music stuff all the time. Why don't you just go to music school?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that is a lot more productive than failing in art school, which seems ridiculous. But you can solidify a career in the industry that you enjoy, which is still music." So I'm like, all right, cool. And so I got a desk job, but at the same time, I can still go out and party and club and all that stuff. Like it makes more sense to have like a backup plan. So DJing is fun, but engineering is where the solidity comes from.
Gotcha.
So, hold on one second, you guys. I'm speaking of engineering and not being high. I'll be right back.
So what's going on, y'all? While he's gone.
So I got a Pro Tools mug.
Ooh.
You know, the main program for engineering, and that's a staple in my house because it always has a liquid substance in it that helps you feel better.
Hot chocolate.
Yeah, hot chocolate.
Yeah, we'll call it hot chocolate. One of my friends calls it coffee. So I come up to the studio and he'd be like, "Yo, you got any of that coffee?" I'm like, "You sound like a crackhead, but I know you just run out of a bottle."
Yeah,
You ever had a Cuban
I've
coffee?
been like that recently. I've had the bottles on deck.
Oh yeah, no, my bottle is right on deck. Trust me, but I already pre-poured it. I just unfortunately left it over yonder. But so what are your guys' primary focuses in terms of just working in life?
Sir Wednesday.
This nigga knows me, but I'm gonna throw it out there anyway. He knows I do the videos. I do a lot of editing. I started tackling photography because I thought it's better to learn both sides of the sword rather than just one, because it's all relative, and it's better to know both things so that way you can, market yourself better and shit.
Hold on a second.
What's that? Did you just freeze?
There you go. Sir Alteron Robinson.
Oh, finally, he's here. He was supposed to be here. It's our boy. He's here. Introduce yourself real quick so we can get back into the line.
Hi.
Nigga.
I'm in your roundhouse, and welcome to True Story, bro.
Why do I look like I'm in a POV movie when I look at his damn video? Like, for real. I fucking hate that shit.
I thought you were one of those stories where they had to hide your identity, but now I know it's you. How the hell you hide under yourself? We can't see you.
It's all like, yes.
My name.
So while he's getting himself in order, we're gonna throw it back to you. We're gonna throw it to you, sir. What's your name? I'm so Wednesday. Echo Ninja, what is your area of expertise?
Actually, cooking is my area of expertise.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I've been doing the chefing thing for almost about 15 years now. I stopped it 3 years ago, I think, because the thing about cooking is that it was like a hobby for me when I first started. It was a stress reliever.
Yeah.
Then the longer I started doing it as a job, it started to become stressful, and I was like, okay, if my stress reliever is becoming stressful, I need to leave it.
Yeah.
So, but I still do it at home. My girl loves my cooking all the time. So, I mean, and it's something that I play with a lot because I like, just like how, DJs like to mess with different sounds. I like to mess with different cuisines and techniques and see how they can, mesh together, whether it's going to fail or whether it's going to be like, out of this world type stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah. And what about you, Chris?
So besides my regular 9 to 5, I also DJ. I do a little bit of engineering. I have my own studio right now. It's a shame we're not there right now, but we'll get there eventually. And that's pretty much it. I do mainly DJing. I'm slowly working into production and engineering, but I've been DJing for, I want to say, a good 15 years now.
So have I, actually.
Yeah.
Yo, it's a rough time. Like this,
Yeah.
some high pussy out there now. Like, it's not happening. But hopefully, I want to see how quickly things open back up, so that people can, like, when the social distancing epidemic is over, when people can get back to the way things actually used to be, or if we all gonna have to be in the club with a mask on.
With plexiglass screens in front of everybody.
Exactly. Now, what I don't want is to ever go to the club and then see somebody and be like, all right, yo, let's get down. Like I'm liking this vibe. And then she take her mask off when we get home, and Deborah got like teeth in different area codes. Like I don't want that. So I'm waiting until we all the way clear up to get back in the club.
Or he has a club where there's just nothing but a bunch of TV screens on the dance floor. Everybody dancing at home.
Little thing. Just going around.
You walking in the club looking like Judge Dredd and shit. You like, yo, you probably motherfucker. I know the law. All right, cool. See you on the dance floor.
Like some Demolition Man shit, where all you see is the screens looking over.
The screens going around and shit. It's like, ooh, girl, what town you live in?
Where you from?
From South Plainfield,
Snapchat code.
Yeah. Although this man is in California, he is a Jersey boy at heart.
Yeah,
Anytime I see this mofo, happy birthday. He's like, it ain't my birthday yet. I said, you from New Jersey, motherfucker. It's your birthday here, so that's all that matters.
Like to go fuck yourself and like it.
All right, so we're going to throw it up to our late coming brother, Altaron Robinson, a.k.a. a.k.a. Roundhouse. I always have to say his name like a fucking 1930s radio announcer. I don't know why. That's just the new thing.
Roundhouse,
what about
the Bookie, starring Altaron Robinson.
Go for it.
Yo, that sounds like a movie I'd go see.
See? I told you, bro. It's all in the presentation.
What was the question?
The question is, what's your area of expertise? What is something you focus on as far as your skill set?
I'm Seth Rogen and I eat the buffet. No.
I feel like you scare felines everywhere you go.
No. I wish I was Seth Rogen.
He beats motherfuckers up so he can get their money that they
Yeah. Not just anyway. What's my expertise? Well, I am a video game content creator, obviously, and content creator, video games, podcast, event planning. Shit, that's a long list of shit.
Yeah, he's a big event planner. He planned a lot of good events.
Yeah.
What's Cedric
You
about?
forgot Highlander because he keeps cutting off his fucking head. Stop it, you son of a bitch.
No,
There could only be one.
So event planning was one of my things. I did plan the New York for a certain organization, Metro Bears. They don't exist anymore, so it doesn't matter if I say. The New York Metro Bears, I did the event planning for them. We did the Pride, so getting a float and the yearly boat ride that rides around the city for Pride. So event planning was one of the things I enjoyed a lot. I kind of fell out with it because it was just like it became too much for me. I mean, it was great for what it's worth, and then it just came a little too much. What else I do? But I still like doing it, just for certain things. Because I guess I just like seeing people happy at an event. You know, some people you get an event, see them standing against the wall. My whole issue is I don't want nobody to get up against the wall standing. So that's how I like to play it. What else? Oh, good problem solver. Yeah.
I'd say this ain't a grinder, bro.
Listen, man.
You telling us your guy in the profile, you updating that shit?
He likes long walks on
I'm
the beach.
I'm like Aries rising, you know, Aquarius. I get those angry moments, but I do get those somber moments and those moments where I just want to be fuck alone because just leave me the fuck alone. So yeah, dateable, single, available.
This motherfucker. Oh man. So yeah, that's that question all the way around. This question goes to you, Storm. We actually said this question, so all of us will not answer because we already did that in a previous episode. This question goes to you as a fellow gadget man. What is your favorite gadget that you purchased this year?
That I purchased this year. I don't know how difficult it's going to be to see, but it is a ring that has 3 rings inside of it. And what it is a clock. So the top of it is the hours, the middle is the minutes, and then there's 60 dots around there for the seconds. So when it's all charged up, it lights up with the time.
Whoa.
So that is one of my favorites.
Where did you get that? I would like to use that in a film.
I do have a redundancy, so there is another one. When I come back if I can come back for Thanksgiving, then I'll just give it to you.
Yeah.
I ain't trying to expose my sources, so.
It's all good. He'll tell me off the air, hopefully. He's like, don't tell nobody. That motherfucker right there.
I did get a watch as a gift. I couldn't find it. I did want to wear it for the interview or for the conversation, but I just couldn't find it somewhere around my bedroom. But it's also just a circle with 3 little circles inside of it, and one is the hours, one is the minutes, and the third one is the seconds. And that was kind of the coolest gift that I've gotten so far this year, aside from Will Smith as the genie. A toy doll of Will Smith as the genie from Aladdin. That I'm looking at it right now, even though y'all can't see it. But that was cool.
All right, I got a question for you, Mr. DJ. Hey, Mr. DJ. If you were stuck on an elevator and you were forced to listen to only one song, what song would you pick?
Get the name of it. It's a song by the artist Duckworth. His music he's an independent artist, but his music has been in Spider-Man, not Homecoming or Far From Home. Spider-Man Into the Multiverse.
Into the Spider-Verse, yeah.
Into the Spider-Verse. That's difficult typing with one hand. But a Duckworth song, essentially.
As soon as you said it's difficult typing with one hand, I was about, nigga, you got 2.
Nah, because I'm holding my mug with the other hand, so I'm just.
Yeah, you don't want to put it down.
You don't got no flat
Starter
surfaces in your house? DJ Living got you tripping? He said, I don't want no flat surfaces in my house. Only round ones.
No locked doors. No locked doors.
Gracias.
Yeah, Start a Riot from Duckworth.
Oh, okay. I heard that one. Yeah.
That's for sure.
I like these questions, these little random ones. Like, that's tight. If anybody got another one,
I was go ahead. Somebody else.
Oh, I got. So, Storm, where are you at right now?
In my apartment in Hayward, California.
Being that you're in California, What is the best part about living in California?
The best part, I guess, is the consistency in weather. Whether it's hot or whether it's cold. Well, I shouldn't say the word weather too many times, but it being hot or it being cold, it's consistent, like for 3-4 months. In Jersey, it be snowing one day, hot the next day, like it's crazy. But I do miss the weather out there though, and the kind of like you could be in Brooklyn and then drive to Jersey, and it's a whole different climate.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we don't have that out here. And white women. But
What?
those are my favorite parts of living out here.
Oh,
Much different from the East Coast.
Wait, what did you say?
Much different from the East Coast.
I've caught a few of them on the East Coast.
Yeah, you just gotta hunt for them and shit.
Yeah.
Like your
one more
fucking
question for you. How many Teslas do you see a day?
Oh, God.
Oh my God. Maybe 15.
15 a day?
Like 15 a day.
50 a day.
No,
That sounds
15.
about right.
15.
1 in 5.
Yeah, 1-5 a day.
Okay, 15 a day.
That's still a lot a day.
Yeah. The other thing too is that everybody, I don't know what their social distancing policy is, Tesla, but at least like maybe last year, every person used to work at the Tesla factory. You don't have to have a college degree. I don't even know if you have to have a high school degree. They pay extremely well. They may treat you like a slave, but people were getting paid. So everybody was trying to work at Tesla, and they got jobs for all.
Wow, that sounds like another place.
Yeah, but at least they pay
Wow.
fucking not like Slavazon. Yeah, I said you motherfucker.
Flavor
Slavazon.
Concentration campazon. That's what that is.
Stupid.
That is the plantation.
Come on, nigga. You niggas gotta get these packages out.
I've heard stories about Amazon because Amazon's out here. I got a friend that works at Google, but I've never heard horror stories like people working at Tesla. They be like, yo, they be driving you, not the cars.
So before I go back to the earlier comment said in the beginning of the episode when I talked about 12th century Mongolian daggers, you know the story I'm gonna talk. It's true story, bro. So we have to mention a fucking true story. Before that, I got one fucking question for you, and that's in the life of DJ Storm, the Storm McConnell movie. Who would play you in the movie? Who would be DJ Storm in the movie of your life, your biopic?
Either Bow Wow or Michael B. Jordan.
Ew.
That was quick.
Wow.
Bow
I mean,
Wow.
I
You know what?
can
I
see
can
it.
see Bow Wow.
But you couldn't see Michael B. Jordan.
You know
Also,
what it is?
he
I never seen you
already
with a
did
mustache.
Oscar Grant.
I never seen you with a mustache. That's why.
Oh. Both of them
And
could
you-
pull it off at this point. They old enough. They all our age.
Sure.
But Michael B. Jordan did the Fruitvale Station thing, and Fruitvale
I love
Station
that.
wigs me out because there's a scene where they leave when they go for their. I don't know if all y'all seen it, but spoilers.
Oh yeah, I saw
movie.
Fruitvale.
Yeah.
They leave from station, and I'm mad I'm giving away my location right now. But they
I'll believe
filmed it.
We'll bleep it out.
They filmed it at the station, which is across the street from my house. So I was going out one night and I see all these lights and these trucks and all this stuff. And I see Michael B. Jordan and all these other characters and shit. And I was like, word? Like, what the hell are y'all doing here? And security was like, you can't come up here. And I was like, nigga, I live here. Like, what the fuck? I have to, like, if I'm going into the city, into San Francisco, I have to pass Fruitvale Station. So it feels a bit weird to, like, every time the train stops at Fruitvale Station, I'm like, yeah, that's literally where this nigga was murdered by the police. Like, especially in today's climate as well. It's just,
Facts.
I don't know, it's cringy, but gotta get to the city.
True.
we were talking about cooking earlier and cooking recreationally, and I got one. You know what the AVNs are?
Yeah.
Okay. So I have a bunch of friends who are males, and they all kick it in the same house. Like just having roommates. It's a big ass house. And the first time I went there, I was like, y'all must make a lot of money. Like, what do y'all do? And they were like, nah, we work in the porn industry. Word. I was like, okay. But they're not talking about like posting videos on World Star or nothing. Like these niggas. Did you know that you have to have a card when you really work in porn? And it says the last time that you were tested and if you have anything or not, or blah, blah. Or you can't even get the card if you have anything or if you contract anything.
Makes sense.
This one presented something to me because I was like, word. So it's like people like, oh, you hang out with porn stars, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, it's more dangerous for them to hang out with civilians than it is for us to hang around them. Like all them niggas is clean. As long as they got their card, they good. So we're at the AVNs or before even that, we're at the house and I cooked some lobster. My deal with my friends at the house is as long as I cook something at least one night for y'all, I can stay there for a couple of days, like free of charge and shit. And then because it's a house full of dudes, they always invite over a bunch of female porn stars, right? So I'm like, yeah, this is a good setup. So I had cooked some lobster for just grilled lobster. And this girl, you can look her up too. Look up Valerie Dodds after this. And yeah, I'm cooking, and then she starts eating the lobster all sloppy, and just she's like devouring the shit. I'm like, yeah, you used to stuffing shit in your mouth. But so we get to the AVNs, and she like, there's this room, like there's the convention floor where they have all the different porn stars, and all the guys are coming up and trying to meet them and get their autographs and stuff. And there's a room, because that shit can get exhausting, but there's a room where the girls can go and chill out. And it's not even a room in the Hard Rock Hotel. Like, it's like a suite, like a proper, like, there's a balcony inside and all this stuff. So there's 40 girls in there. And Dodds is like, yo, I'm getting tired. Let's go up to the room. And I was like, what's the room? Like, it's not the murder room, is it?
No, this is the murder room.
I was about to say that.
I know that. I was about to say in the beginning, it's like, hey, Google, what's the murder room?
Right.
Get it again.
Because you said, hey, Google.
2003 detective novel and the 12th in the Adam
Because you literally just said, oh, hey, Google. And I'm all like, oh, no. Shut up, bitch. Stop listening to me.
But Dodds is like, yo, I'm getting tired. Let's go to the room. I'm like, I don't know what it is, but there are no dudes allowed in there. And most of the dudes don't even know where it is. But she takes us up. There's two big-ass black security guards that look like Al. And it was the most backhanded compliment I've ever received. She was like, no, he's okay to come in. He's harmless. Word?
It's like, bitch, how you know?
Like, I can hit somebody with nunchucks if I wanted to. Yeah, I didn't forget about that.
Yeah, you didn't. Neither did I.
A fellow chucker, eh? A fellow chucker, eh?
So they let me in, and I'm the only dude that's allowed to be in there. And I'm looking at all these girls that I've already jacked off to, and I'm like, wow, like y'all are here in person. And Dodds, for some ass reason, we're talking about food, and she goes, she yells it, but she goes, I've never liked lobster until DJ Storm cooked it for me, which forces every girl to turn around and turn their gaze at me. And at first, my first thought, I was like, yo, you know how many men would hit their mother in the head with a brick to be in this situation right now? All these women just staring at you, and you the only dude in the room. So what do? I just like moonwalked out that bitch. I was like, sorry. And just left. I was out, I just got nervous. I think I might have even ran down the hallway back to the elevator. I was like, nah, I can't handle this.
That's wild.
Oh my God.
But go for the Mongolian dagger story.
All right. So the reason why I mentioned that is because one time this guy had called me. He was like, "Man, I had a situation." I'm like, "What happened?" He's like, "I just got out of the clink." I'm like, "What the fuck is the clink?" Like, basically, he just got out of jail. I'm like, "What
Got
they
out
hold
of
you
jail.
for?" Yeah, he was like, "What they fucking hold you for?" So this motherfucker was like, "Man, I was going to a friend's house. It was his fucking birthday, and I was in traffic, and I stopped short, and my gift fell out the wrapping, and the fucking cop decided to stop me, and I'm like, oh fuck, I'm
That
already
is
late."
not
I know.
exactly how that went.
Exactly.
I'll tell you how it went.
You see that?
So you know,
That's called the bait and switch move. I told it in proper, so he was fucking putting shit up. And now it's your turn, sir.
so what had occurred was I was at a friend's house and she was like, you know how people like they'll forget your birthday or forget like a Christmas gift or something, and they look around all nervous and be like, "I got you this. Here you go." My friend had just ran into her boyfriend's room and picked out a pair of nunchucks. When I say pair, I don't mean two different nunchucks. I mean one nunchuck, like just straight up. But it's not for combat. It's not like what Mortal Kombat got behind him. What Cedric has behind him. It's not like for that. It's decoratory. It's got intricately painted birds and all this stuff on it, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, yeah, all right, whatever. At the time, I had a 2-seater car. So I just have like these two little areas behind the seats where you can store stuff or like groceries or whatever. So I'm like, yo, chuck it in the fuck it bucket, like whatever. So the shit's just behind my seat. And I'm cruising along. 2 months go by. I'm rolling up to my boy's place. And I'd been drinking, admittedly. But I'm like, fuck, yo. But I'm right at his front gate. And I'm like, dude, yo, I think I'm going to get arrested. And I also didn't have license plates on my car, which was another thing that they'll get you for out here. But, so cop comes up, he's asking me to do all of this and all of that and blah, blah, blah. And I am around alcohol so often, I'm not fazed by any of that. But then he shines his flashlight into the car and he sees the nunchuck. There are 3 states in the entire United States of America where having a nunchuck is the exact same of it is a charge of possession of a deadly weapon.
Wow.
That's the same thing as having an unloaded gun, right? And he was like, "Oh, nunchucks." I'm like, "Nigga, do I look like a ninja?" And also, you can clearly tell that they're not for fighting. Like, this is just a stupid ass gift I got for my birthday because my friend forgot that shit. And he's like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, this ain't racial profiling." But they were about to come try to tow my car. And I was like, dude, I'm at my boy's house, who is Caucasian. So I call him like, "Nick, come out, I'm about to get arrested." So he talks to the officers and they're like, "All right, you can take his car into your compound and park it wherever." I already had a parking spot in there and shit too. But because of the fact that he was able to take the car, it wasn't impounded, which saved me like $500. So I'm in jail for like a week. Like by the last day is Lord, Lord, Lord. Like I was feeling it, but my previous partner ended up getting me off of that situation, and she hired a lawyer. She went through all the rigmarole of everything and made sure that I got out. Now, my friend who took my car into who prevented it from getting towed, he happens to live with somebody that I was romantic with at the time. So I get out of jail and my wife is like, "Fuck you doing at that bitch house?" Like, "I don't know, we was gonna watch movies or something." I'm like, "This is worse than jail. Just put me back in there. This bitch gonna kill me." That was the last time I've been locked up, but that wasn't too long ago though.
Damn.
Yes. So every time I fucking talk to this motherfucker, I always have to do some type of DJ line, just like I do with this motherfucker, Ron Robinson. I always gotta hit him with one of those, or I have to ask him if he has like Master Chief's plasma sword in his car, some shit like that. I always gotta fucking ask him if he's got some type of weapon, make sure he don't get into trouble.
Grandmaster
Some
Flash.
guy have shit in the car? Oh man. But yeah, that's
That is funny.
yeah.
I'm like, yo, for a nunchuck. And then also too, somebody had said, my same friend who helped me with the car, I was telling him something about how I just got sued by the state of California. I can't show those documents on the thing, but it's literally the people of the state of California versus Storm McDonald. And he was like, man, you full of shit. I was like, word, really? If I told you that I got arrested for a nunchuck, would you believe me? And he was like, all right, touche, my nigga, touche.
Man, if that cop was cool, he could have at least started clowning you and not sent you to jail. He's like, "What you trying to fight at my Master Splinter and shit? Y'all about to go fight some crime? Come on."
Exactly. I'm like, dude, I'm not a ninja. Like, I have no idea. And it's also decoratory, and then it's only one. Like, what am I do a one nunchuck? Like, just throw that shit at you. Like,
It worked for Bruce Lee. He only had one.
Terrible. Shit.
well, the day I look like Bruce Lee, the day I'll forgive that cop for arresting me.
It says that he goes into the list of people I don't like very much. Oh my god! In your journey as a DJ, just as a man in general, what would you think is the best piece of advice that you ever given?
That I've ever given.
No, what would you say would be the best piece of advice you've been given?
Oh, been given.
Been given.
Just be honest about what it is you're trying to do. If you're trying to make money in the industry, then tell people that before they hire you. Like, dude, I'm in this shit to make money. So I'll do what you need me to do to make money. If you're in it to have fun and entertain other people, then yo, I don't care about the money as much. I mean, still gotta pay the bills, but at the same time, I don't care about the money. I just want to make sure that people have a good ass time at whatever event that I'm hosting or throwing or spinning or whatever. So I feel like that was the best. Like, you just got to be honest with yourself about what you're actually trying to do. And it's like that in stand-up comedy as well. So.
Well, yeah, definitely. Those niggas got to be very honest.
There is a situation that I happened to get myself into with my previous partner. The girl I'm with now is a fucking angel. She's the greatest. Before that, however, that came the fucking devil. That was Lucifer. That was Lucifer with a fat ass. Like, that's all I was. But I've done a show before called King of the Fallen, and it's about domestic abuse. So this chick was about that much taller than me, and she wasn't like wide, like she wasn't like obese or anything, but she's just a tall ass girl. For Halloween one year, we went as Jessica and Roger Rabbit. Like, that shit was crazy. But she used to, when she would get like drunk, she was like an abusive drunk, and she would hit me and do stuff like that. But I don't hit women. I was raised different than that. And guys would be like, oh, you a bitch. You didn't punch that bitch back, blah, blah. She could defend herself. She's bigger than you, da, da, da. And King of the Fallen is just being honest about your situation and letting other dudes know that it's okay to be honest with your situation or previous situations as well. If a female is abusive towards you and you have the inner strength not to retaliate, I mean, you can defend yourself. Like, if you're about to get choked out, like, you can like pitch the bitch, but don't go fist up and try to Floyd Mayweather her ass. You know what I mean?
Don't hit her with the beginning of fucking Street Fighter 2.
Exactly. Like, don't do that shit. But it's like it's okay to accept those kind of defeats. You don't have to stay in that situation. You could leave or whatever, but that doesn't make you less of a man. It actually makes you more of a man. And that's my honest opinion about it. Like, that shit is, being honest and straightforward is extremely important in comedy. And I had Cobb's Comedy Club is? You ever heard of it? Anybody?
No.
No?
Just an
Really?
answer. Yeah, really?
I can't tell if you're being sarcastic or not.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nah. I never heard of
Okay,
Cosby.
nah, but that's where Dave Chappelle started out. Martin Lawrence had a big hit over there. Like, these are like real serious like comedians that started out of Cobb's Comedy Club in San Francisco. So one day my photographer comes over and he's like, yo, so your girl posted some very unflattering things about you. And I was like, what? Like, she's like, I'm sick of whack niggas. I'm sick of blah, blah, blah. I'm like, come on, man. Like, what the fuck is that shit about? And he was like, but I saw it on Tinder. And I was like, word? You saw it on Tinder? Okay. And we go to my assistant's house. And the two of them have never met before. So my assistant, who's been my assistant for like 2 years, was just like, hey, man, I got to talk to you in private about something. Like, I don't want to, I'm like, David is cool, but I'm like, I know exactly what you're talking about. And my assistant does not have Tinder. Thus, he has heard the information he's about to dispel to me from other people. So he was like, yo, I heard that Jay got Tinder and she said some fucked up shit about you. And then David was like, what? And I was like, yeah, he's seen the shit too. And everybody in the room was just like, So what I did in retaliation, this is while she lived with me, rented out Cobb's Comedy Club. So people are they're expecting to see like the five of us, like just five funny people, five comedians. Nope, just one nigga. The show is called Intervention. I reamed that bitch out for an hour. And she was like, how could you do that to me in front of strangers? I'm like, word? Really? That's okay, back to bitch, innit? One of the most famous comedy clubs in the world, huh? Recognize.
Damn.
Don't play with me. Don't play with me.
She wasn't ready for the storm.
But I think it was maybe like a month later is when I went to the AVNs.
DJ Storm.
I would be.
Oh, God. Oh, man, that's my level. Yeah.
That's some funny ass shit.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna buy this whole place out. Just to rank on your ass.
Exactly. Fuck you.
Fuck you from the podium.
So when you're spinning, what do you normally spin? Like, what's your like? What's your go-to genre?
I've been waiting for the DJ to talk to the DJ.
Oh, I gotta put you up on some game too. But it's mainly hip hop or like more like the hip hop that we grew up with, like 2005, 2006, 2007.
So party hip hop, like Nelly type shit.
Wait, say that again?
So like party hip hop, like pretty much.
Yeah. No, I'm more of a party DJ. Oh, I even got a cold ass picture on my Instagram. I had to DJ this not little girl. I think it was her sweet 16. And her and her friends are all excited. Oh, it's DJ Storm. Da, da, da. Bro, I had a black eye from fucking my partner at the time. And there's just a picture, like, they were so happy. It's like, oh, who is this? And I was like, Nelly? Like, I forgot you're 16. Jesus Christ. And he's like, oh, you party so hard, you messed up your face. And I was like, yeah, that's what happened. But no, I have that picture of them being so excited to finally meet me and asking me about who the fuck Nelly was. It's like, not like a horse. Whoa, Nelly. But
underlay, Mama
Ia. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
She was like, you didn't get all the rest of the vowels. I was like, not E-I-O. I guess he technically got E-I-U and O, but nah, not all of them.
So I had another question for you. So Do you play? So you play hip hop, right? Do you kind of venture off and go into like house music a little bit more, like stuff that we grew up in, like shit during the '90s, stuff like that?
Yeah, I can at times. It just if the blend is right, then and if I can make the two songs mix in a way that's coherent and that makes sense and that sounds good, then I'll go from hip hop to electronic to Caribbean music. I'm from the Caribbean also. So that's another big thing that I play, but a lot of people, especially in the Bay, they're not familiar with that. Actually that's another difference between here in New Jersey is that they don't listen to that kind of stuff. Like if you played Hot 97 for like an hour, you're gonna hear a couple of Caribbean songs. Like that shit is always sprinkled in there. They do not have that out here.
Yeah, my brother told me about that shit. He says
There's
it's
like not many
really-
Caribbeans down there, right?
Yeah, no, not many.
There's
Right.
probably they're scattered, but they exist. It's just that it's not like Jersey.
Right.
No, it's not. Definitely not.
What about African or like Afro beats? A lot of Afro music is like really being brought to the mainstream. I've been listening to it for like years. A lot of it's been like being brought up to the mainstream now. Like Burna Boy, he's like the most biggest international artist out there now.
There's Burna Boy, people like Jay Huss, who technically is British, but stuff like that I love to experiment with.
Burna Boy, I love Burna Boy's music, by the way. Burna Boy.
Yeah, Burna Boy is dope. He's dope. But if you were to play that in New York, that would be dope. If you were to play that out here, they'd just be scratching their heads. You know what I mean? So
Really? They don't do it then.
nope.
They're very streamlined with the type of music they listen to. I remember my brother moved out there, what was it, like 2004, 5. He said they don't know about that reggae shit. The only thing they know, like that is close to that, is Movado at the time, and that was it. They're like, "Yo, we bumping this tight Caribbean shit." And niggas be like, "What's that?" But
Yeah,
Now, another thing too, it goes on the flip side because they have their own style of music, especially in the Bay Area.
Mhm.
That if you played that shit in New York, motherfuckers would be like, "Ew, what is this like?
So
This garbage, this hot garbage."
you talking about like shit like from like DJ Mustard, and what is it? What's that artist? Blue something. Got his fucking name.
no, because that's what's hot right now. I'd go more of like E40, like anything that's like hyphy, the Bay Area shit, like that, all that stuff. Like sometimes out here, it's like, like people will fuck with E40 out here, but not as heavy as they would in Cali.
Yeah, no, definitely. 40 kind of is universal. Like you had mentioned DJ Mustard earlier, and it's like, yeah, DJ Mustard is kind of universal. Like his genre of music kind of plays to everybody.
Right.
And E40 I feel kind of is the same way. So you could play E40 in the East Coast, but like some of the newer artists that are coming up here, like that shit, and also too, we took a class in music school called studio etiquette, which is how to tell somebody they suck without telling them that they suck. Like you ain't gotta be aggressive about it. And I hear so many artists that I'm just like, yes, all right, like let's take that take one more time. You had it, but I feel like you could do a better one if you try it again. Practice makes perfect. Let's go. Which means you fucking sucked. My girl has even been in the studio and she's been like, "Yo, you're so nice." I'm like, "Yo, this nigga's garbage, yo." But and also too, another thing that I like, because I travel a lot for DJing, and I've been all over the world. Literally, I have like, you guys can't see it now, but I have these big plaques on the wall with like plane tickets and just little like, oh, here's one I can give you. So I had a radio show. And one of my co-hosts, I went to Hawaii for the gig, and I came back, and he goes, "Oh, what'd you get me?" I was like, "Fucking nothing." Like, what do you mean? And so the next time I traveled, I picked up a keychain for him. It's just the simplest thing I can get for like $1.50. And I was like, all right, let me get one for myself as well. So I gave him his shit, and now I'll get like 5, 6 keychains and just give them to people who ask like, oh, what'd you get me? Here, this. And I'm like, bam, gift already on deck. Got you. But I always keep one for myself. There's a small fraction of like, yeah, Chicago, Curacao, staying off the beach. Yeah, I've been all over the world for this shit. So it is Holland. I got the little shoes, the little cloggy shoes.
I'm glad you don't use that on your keys because your car will never start again, boy.
Nope.
Never stop again.
The shit will spoil. It will just spoil.
No, one of my favorite places. Oh, and Cedric, this is kind of a tribute to you.
What's going on, guy?
The handcuffs.
Oh, what?
That's from New York, though. That's just from New York.
Of course.
I don't think I've gotten arrested in New York yet. So
yeah, let's try to leave that off the bucket list.
Yeah.
Please.
One of my favorite places to go to. I've been there twice. I went there once as a kid, but I don't feel like that counts because I have like one aunt. It's like way north in Australia. Oh my God, I seen the biggest spider on the fucking planet there. She was gonna shake out your shoes, and I was like, why? So I shook out one shoe when I was leaving, and at that time I was with my parents. Like I was a kid, I was like 13 years old, and then took the other shoe and shook it out, and just bam, yo, a spider the size of my hand just fell out of my shoe. And I was like, nah, yo, I'm never coming back here again. That noise. Fuck that. And then when I got the gig in Melbourne, it was between Sydney and Melbourne. They showed me how much they were gonna pay me, and I was like, nah, yo, the spiders ain't that bad. Like I could
get over that shit.
I could work around that. But in Sydney is one of my favorite cities. Like they set me up in this hotel suite that's like larger than my apartment, and everything was like white granite or marble or whatever. Like it looked like someplace Diddy would stay. And then this lady opened the door. I thought that shit was a water closet, and I was like, "There's still more hotel room? Like, goddamn, okay, shit." I was like, "This is my bedroom? Fuck yeah, I could stay here, shit." So one of the things I like to do when I travel before a gig is just like roam the streets, like just get to know my environment and my neighborhood. And hold on, Cedric, just to let you know, this story's gonna go on for like 6 minutes. This is one of my stand-up bits. But so I like to roam the streets and shit. So I get on the subway, and it's just the regular ass subway. So we're going, I'm just observing the people, but I'm always like keeping note of the stops that we stop at. And between 2 stops, it goes from underground to the Sydney Harbor Bridge. And it was beautiful. Like you could see the Sydney Opera House, the white building that's like with all the triangles and shit that you see in every movie. Yeah, the Sydney Opera House. And it's spectacular. Like I was wowed. But everybody else on the train has, like, they're just going to work. So they're used to this. It's like when somebody from like Australia would to come here and see like the Brooklyn Bridge and be like, oh my God, that's the Brooklyn Bridge. And you'd be like, I don't give a shit. Like, everybody was just holding on to the thing and just text Deborah. And I'm like, y'all don't see this? Like, this is magnificent. Like, this is amazing. And I was just floored. So I stayed on the train. The train gets to the end where the Sydney Harbor is. And then I'm looking at I kept, like I said, I keep little things. So I kept the flyer for it, and I'm looking at the shit right now. But so we get to the aquarium, and I'm like, okay, cool. Let me just I ain't got nothing to do for the rest of the day. It's like 8 o'clock in the morning. Like, let me go to the aquarium. So one of the attractions that they have is if you pay enough, you can swim with sharks. I just saw Cedric's face just go, word, nigga. You'd want to do that? And I was
swim
like,
with sharks already. It's called living in the hood. No.
yeah, whatever, fuck it. Let's roll the dice on this one. Let's go. And I didn't have my assistant with me, so I'm by myself. So I was just like, fuck it, let's go. So we go down, we get into this tank that's about like shin high of salt water. And I'm like, okay, cool. So what do we do? And they gave us a little scuba instruction. And I'm like, all right, cool. So like, all right, put on your masks. And as I do so, and just imagine this is a scuba mask, they're like, whatever you do, don't pull it away from your face. And as soon as he said face, that shit snapped back into my head. And I was like, oh. And he was like, always take it off and adjust it. Don't just pull it away from your face. So I'm in a group of like 5 people and the instructor. So my nose starts bleeding. And I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, I came this far. Let's see where this goes. And there's an the only person who saw that shit happen is this Indian dude. And this nigga's just staring at me like, or like he didn't say anything, but you can tell the look in somebody's eyes. He was just like, word, like, this is how
you gonna not tell them?
He's like, yeah, he's like, you gonna not say nothing? Okay. I'm gonna take me and my son and say, fuck away from you. So we get all this shit together and we get in the water and we start swimming. And the first tank is a group of smaller sharks. And then there's a second tank with larger sharks. The third tank is exotic sharks. And they're all interconnected. But the smaller sharks don't swim into the enclosure with the larger sharks because they know that they'll get eaten and shit. So they separate themselves by themselves, like on their own. So we get into the water and smaller sharks, like maybe about 4 feet or something. And there's something called a cat shark, small, harmless, but I guess he could smell the blood. So he just keeps like bumping me in the mask. And because you can't talk underwater, the guide is like, I don't know, that's fucking weird. And like swats the shark away and shit. But then he just comes up again later on and just keeps bumping me in the face. And I'm like, fuck. And I turn around and look at the Indian dude, and that nigga's just in the water like. Word. Well, all right, I don't know how I'm gonna get out of this one, but so we go into the enclosure with the larger sharks. Now, it's nothing as big as like a great white or nothing that dangerous,
Oh, okay.
but
All
they're
right.
still like 6 foot, 6.5 feet. Like they're that long. So we go and I'm just looking at these other sharks, but none of them are fucking with me or trying to do anything, whatever, except for the cat shark. This nigga's so just hit me. And the guide gives me the look of like, that's peculiar. He's not supposed to be in here. Like, why would he do that? And I literally straight up was just like, I didn't do anything. So we go through, I'm like, dude, this is gonna be it. One of these big ass fucking 6 foot sharks. I'm not even 6 feet standing up. So I'm like, yo, this is how I go. Like, that's it. And fortunately, we were able to get to the enclosure with the exotic sharks. And the guide is pointing at this one, he's pointing at that one, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, maybe one of the larger sharks might come into this enclosure. And as I turn around to look, Indian dude is just. Word. So we get out of the enclosure, and luckily I didn't get bit. Nothing had really fucked with me except for that one small shark. And we get out, and so I take my face mask off, and straight just a river of blood comes dripping out my nose. And I look at the instructor, and he looked at me and was like, "What the hell?" I look at the Indian guy, I was like, "Peace," and just dipped. Yo, I was out. Thank you for the experience. I'm going back to the hotel. Yo, fuck this. I'm like, I did it to myself, so
You fucking did.
I can't complain. Yo, I can't complain.
Oh my god.
You lucky you didn't die.
For real.
Yeah, bro, I seen Jaws like 18 times. Like, fuck that.
He's like, blood?
That shit, yo, when I took that mask off and all that shit came out, once again, and the dude was just like,
Word.
Word. Oh my god.
Oh, shit. That's funny. Now, here's a question. Speaking of, I guess, awkward moments.
Mhm.
What's the most awkward thing that happens to you on a regular basis?
regular basis.
Whether it's DJing or just
Life.
everyday life.
Nah, in terms of everyday life, like the chick that I'm with right now, like she's tremendously beautiful. She's amazing. Like just to look at. She used to be a model. She's a singer. Like she's fucking incredible. The most embarrassing thing that happens on a regular basis is when we're just hanging out together and like without knowing it, just get gassy. Just whack. And then I have to look at this angel of a human being. Like, sorry. My bad.
Oh man.
Shoot another one at me if you got him. You look like you're looking through a list of questions.
That's too funny.
So this is a question for everybody. I'll start with you, Storm, since you're a guest of honor. If you could, for the Mac and the PC people, if you could control Z or command Z any moment in your motherfucking life, what would it be?
Wait, if I can control the what?
If you can control Z or command Z, which is undo
something.
any moment in your motherfucking life, what would it be?
I feel like this one is directed at me because you know what it is.
Maybe.
All right, so I
love it how you drop the level and you on the R&B voice and shit.
Nah, I had a portrait of somebody that I wanted to get tattooed on me, and this is like years back. This is like when I'm 16, like mad young, and that I wanted to get tattooed on me, and the person I was with at that time was just not having it. And outside the tattoo shop, like we got into like if God and the devil could see that argument, they'd be like, damn, yo, we should piece our shit up, yo. It's not as serious as that. Bro, the mountains crumbled and the seas roared. Like that shit was intense. She was like, no, you need to get it of me. Get it of me. Blah, blah, blah. All right, fucking fine. And like we have witnesses to that shit. Like that argument got intense. But I do have a tattoo up my arm that is horrific. Like artwork. But the person that it's of, I'm like, dude, I didn't even want to get this shit of you anyway. I would have definitely Control Z that. But the only thing that saves that situation is that I'm glad I didn't get a shitty tattoo of the other person that I was gonna get it of. So I'm like, all right, I guess this is the best you could make it a situation. But out of Control Z, that whole thing, like that.
What about you, Echo Ninja? What would you control Z if you could fucking do it? You look at him clammed up. So,
I don't know. I mean, there's a few things that I would want to control Z.
Googling the murder room.
The G-Man gonna be out this nigga door. You're like, come on. You right.
You're right.
I guess I would say my one, well, Cedric knows of this one, so does Al. My one relationship that lasted for 10 unnecessary years.
God damn.
Someone
I would want to erase that.
someone coined the phrase perfectly, and they said, you know what? That wasn't a relationship. That was just a really long date.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I would kind of want to undo that. There was a lot of unnecessary shit that happened during that whole thing that didn't need to happen.
Understand. Yeah, I understand.
A lot of unnecessary arguments that didn't need to happen.
Bro, with 10 years?
Yeah, bro.
Well, there are people who change tax brackets in that amount of time. Jeez Louise.
But
how you living, nigga? Moving on up.
But I'm better now, of course. I'm in a better relationship. I'm in a better like light, which is great. But that one relationship is something even though people say, oh, you know, even bad relationships you can learn lessons from. No, nigga, there's no lesson in the world except for don't go near that bitch type shit.
Bro, for some odd reason, I just imagined you with a big ass book. Like, I can't find the lesson. I don't know what page it's at. I can't find it.
Exactly. And then at the end of the book, it says, just drop it.
Gotcha.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's the whole thing that I would Control, Alt, Delete, and just delete the whole goddamn task. But yeah, that's me. Roundhouse, what about you? While I get myself some water.
The question was called "Pay attention, nigga." Nah,
I mean,
instead of looking like a ding dong horse, a ding dong cake and some shit.
Fuck out of here.
That made no sense. Anyway,
there was a name. It was
Tasty cake.
If you could Control Z or Command Z, basically undo any one moment in your life, what would it be?
Undo one moment in my life? Oh
yeah.
Shit.
Bleaching his hair to be Cisco.
No, I would have did that. I still would have did that.
He won that. He was just disqualified.
I won, nigga. Fuck that. Anyway,
you get first place, right?
Let's
got
see.
DQ'd. Remember the girls pulled their thongs out. This nigga did the
you
thongs
didn't
out
win shit, then.
No, I won. It was a technical disqualification because it's not like I told them to pull it out. They did it themselves. Not my fault.
Can you imagine him backstage after he says, "Yeah, thank you"? He goes backstage, "Bitch, are you out of your mind?"
No,
I didn't won this shit.
And no, I didn't know about it until like at
they
night.
disqualified you.
I'm eating, and then I found out. And they're like, "Yo, they put the song." I was like, "What?" So,
go ahead.
Undo one moment. So many.
Yes, so many, but all we need is one.
I know.
And we started back.
I don't know. Come back to me. That's harder to try.
So, Cedric, what about you? I'm curious.
Oh, what me? If I could undo one moment in my entire life, obvious answer, I'd undo this whole goddamn pandemic. That's first and foremost.
We had plans.
No, we have plans.
That's not a moment in your life. That's a moment in everybody's life.
Exactly. So I just never-ending stories and fixed this entire shit. Just like when he told the fucking bitch I wish you had a heart type shit. If I could do that. The instant fix for everyone. But no, if I could undo one moment, I would undo my LLC soon enough. So that way I wouldn't be dealing with the bullshit I'm dealing with.
Yeah.
Involved.
Yeah.
That's what I would undo that. Other than that, everything else was a learning experience, and I probably would be better off without the bullshit. But them's the breaks, kid.
And these are the breaks.
What about you, man? Has no nickname?
I haven't really had anything like super like traumatizing happen to me.
Of course you would.
So I would probably say like maybe the job I'm working at now.
Yeah.
It was good at the first year.
What?
It was good the first year.
Listen, it was alright, first of all, 'cause I can't sit at a desk. I have to move around. You know? So the fact that I went from working retail to working in an office and fucking killing myself on the phone all day. Nah, fam, this is not it. Is not it at all. I mean, I'm cool with the people there, like the other people I work with.
Yeah.
That I probably wouldn't want to get rid of, but the fucking job, yeah, definitely. It's not worth being there right now.
Whatever.
I'm definitely
having to stay at home, or having to be like to stay at home, or having to go to a new work situation now that things have changed. That shit isn't cool. Luckily, I've been able to be in the former of the two and be able to work from home. And Cedric and I were talking earlier, and I had somebody say that all I do is sit around and drink. And I'm like, bitch, you in my apartment, and I paid for you to fucking come here. I'm making enough money as it is. Like, I can do what I do from home. So if I want to go to my primary office, which is my couch, to my secondary office, which is my bedroom, then I can do that shit and still make money. So I don't give a shit what you think about my working habits.
fact. That's exactly what I'm looking for right now. And I mean, it's slowly getting there. You know what I mean? Just trying to run, the business and seeing the different aspects of everything. You know what I'm saying? So we're trying like little by little to like just improve and like just get more things to go on in there than what it is now. Because right now, I'll be using the office spaces for like consultations. We might do some light photo shoots there. But then we started bringing the podcast over, and we're even thinking about, renting out the room for, other people who want to use it for a podcast, whether it's just audio or video, whatever the case may be. And recently we've been, trying to record. So hopefully, that works out a little bit better, but it's a decent little spot that I got. So definitely worth it for the most part. So looking to see what happens after all this shit is over.
Facsimile.
I actually know what I would have changed. Like,
Go for it.
I think in 2019, when they started like my job, I think I would have changed. I think I would have went and applied for better jobs back in January of 2019.
Mhm.
That's when they started taking hours away. So I think back then, I think I should have started looking for a better job, better opportunities.
But there was no way to predict that things were gonna go tits up like this. Like,
Oh no, I said 2019. See,
yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. But there's no way to know that shit was gonna go sideways in 2020.
true.
So, but I mean, that's a good answer to the question.
I would have had at least 1 year with another company.
That's true. Maybe work from home.
Sounds like with better pay.
My nigga, I feel like I'm talking to RoboCop because all I can see is
Top of your head. When he said, I would have changed, the fact that we could see the top of your head. I wasn't gonna go there. No, I wasn't gonna interject.
Come quietly, or there will be trouble.
shit.
Good.
No, but the job, I think the job I had was okay for the most part, and then they started getting tedious because they were asking for too much but not paying for the too much,
Mm.
And I'm not about that. You want me to do this? Okay, you asking too much. You really is.
You're going to have to pay me.
Pay me. Fuck that. And I'm not saying the pay wasn't good. The problem is that they started taking away hours from people.
So the pay wasn't shit after that.
Start doing that. That's a recipe for disaster. And I should have like read that recipe and be like, this ain't gonna be good. I need to go. I ain't gonna eat this.
We know who cooks, so should have told him
to
relay that recipe to them.
I didn't read the recipe. That was the first problem. I was like, I don't want this cookbook. Fuck it. I'm gonna just stick with the way I usually do.
Ain't no sugar in this shit.
That's what I should have did. I should have read the cookbook, and I didn't read the cookbook. I got
this chicken cold.
It was cold, bro. It was cold. I should have left back in March 2019. No, at least February 2019.
That's a whole year and change.
And I should have found something else.
Facts.
Because I went through 2 managers by that time. Two.
Oh man. I remember when. Nah, fuck it. True story, bro.
Every day.
So basically, I remember one time this motherfucker Storm called me on the randomest of moments, and I swear to God, I felt like I was one of those TV shows on TNT, because this motherfucker had called me up like, yo, Sid, what's good? He's like, yeah, I got a situation. Remember when blah, 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 blah happened? You're like, yeah. He's like, tell this person. Who was it?
I don't. I need you to continue with the story. I don't remember.
He's on the. He's in suspense. Because he needed me to settle an argument that he was having with someone. And the person, huh? Was it?
Yeah, when you were our mediator.
Yeah, and then you basically came up, you called me like, remember this time? Remember what happened? Didn't I say blah, 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 blah? And I was like, yeah. So when the nigga had called me, he was like, see, I told you. Thanks, Sid. Like, oh, yeah, I remember that shit. And I'm be like, word. So basically, I felt like on some TNT shit, like I was the nigga who everybody needed in their relationship to validate what was going on in the conversation. I was the mediator. I was the fucking stenographer. I came up with the glasses like, oh shit. He was like, remember the time when you said blah, 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 blah? He's like, I need to call the stenographer. Call that nigga like, I'll be on my way. Coming out with the fucking laundry list of fucking things in conversation. I was like, nah, babe. He said this at 12:05. You were wrong. He's like, Steve, coming to TNT, the stenographer. I take off my fucking glasses like, yeah, that's this motherfucker.
Yo, I would watch the fuck out of that TV show. The stenographer.
You were right.
And you know what? That comes on right after Roundhouse the Bookie, starring Altaron Robinson. Catch him in his directorial debut, starring in his own TV show.
Why not? Tyler Perry can do it. Fuck it.
Make sure you give him his money, or he will track you down. Roundhouse the Bookie. Roundhouse.
I feel like I want to design a logo for that next time I got free time.
I'm down for it. Go ahead. Make me one.
Oh, man. But, big man, anybody else got like one more question they want to ask us? Fine, gentlemen. But you think we should?
What song is your guilty pleasure when spinning? And it doesn't matter what event you know you have to play this event. You have to play this song because you don't give a fuck. You gonna play it.
It's either I Get Money from 50 Cent or I'm a Hustler from Cassidy.
Okay.
Either which one.
I'm a hustler.
And if you check the BPMs on that, they blend perfectly.
Yep.
So you can play both at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
I've done that shit. But that's what I'm saying. Like, when it comes to, like, what we now call old school hip hop, you can't.
Do we call old school hip hop now?
I don't know. It's in that weird like it's
It's
in that
for
weird
the,
phase. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it's like what, over 10 years old. So yeah.
So it's
I mean,
it's old school hip hop, and the '90s is just the '90s.
Yeah. Okay. All right. But I know, like, if people would hear me say old school hip hop is 50 Cent, I Get Money, they'd be like, "What the fuck are you smoking?" Like,
how is that old school now? I just don't understand.
Because we moved up a generation. And
yeah,
we moved up like 10 years. So everybody that was young is now young, like
You
older.
know what our rap sounds like now?
What?
oh no,
Exactly.
I absolutely hate it. It's
Exactly.
it's so rare that I find somebody in my studio that I work at whose stuff I actually like. You know what I mean? And the other thing too, I like people, like they're like people, individuals or artists that I rock with, people I've become very good friends with. But I'm like, yeah, but your music is still garbage stuff. But actually, you know what? To properly answer your question, it's I Get Money. Now that I think about it, at least if it's a hip hop party, I don't give a fat baby's dick.
It don't matter what it don't matter what kind of party it is. You're gonna play this on just because it slaps.
I Get Money from
Perfect.
It is a hype song. I get it.
Because if you think about it, if you think about it, it's almost like a breakdown transition to something else. So he just played that while he just looking for something else, and then boom.
Oh, also, you know what? Now that you mention that, that is a difference between me and a lot of other DJs. A lot of DJs that I know, they have structured sets, so they know what they're gonna play in what order and how things transition to other whatever.
Mhm.
But I'm extremely fluid in the sense of like while the song is playing, I'm looking for the next song to play based on what the crowd is
That's
feeling.
how you fucking do it.
Exactly.
You fucking do
I
it.
don't come through with structured sets. Like I might know that, yeah, this song links into this song, that may link into this song. But after that third song, I don't know what the fuck's going on. Like I gotta find something. Like you gotta be on your toes at all times.
Like a game of fucking musical Tetris.
Basically, yeah, that's an eloquent way to put it.
Let me ask you this question: do you hold when somebody's about to ask you for a request? Do you hold your hand out and mush their face?
Nah, my assistant does that. That is not a joke or an exaggeration.
No, I'm telling y'all, it gets serious. And there's times where I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm just doing my set, and then someone will try to come up to me, and I'm like, yeah, I got you next. And your song will not come up next.
Oh, have you ever had this experience where you say, oh yeah, I got your song next, I'm gonna play your song next, and then they stand in front of the DJ booth and just stare at you until you play the song?
That's when I do this.
Bro, that's why I put rocks in my pocket.
See the rock?
My booth.
On a little fucking cup and just be like, you want a song? Tip.
Or I'm sure some people, they be like, oh yeah, I want my song next. Okay, I got you. Next, you see them looking like they're about to leave, and then you play this song.
Oh, that's the greatest feeling in the world.
Yo,
that's the greatest feeling in the world, because you finally play their song and you see them at the exit.
He's like, I got you, son. I got you. Remember?
That was a good one.
Oh my God. All right. It's about that time. We're gonna wrap it up. I wanna thank my boy DJ Storm coming out and being on our fantastic program. We appreciate you, brother. We're gonna take us out with a roll call after we start throwing some stuff in. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, comment if you like the content we've been giving you, which we know you do. We're gonna keep pushing them out. We're gonna be at the platforms. Where the platforms, guys? Around here. Also, check us out on these platforms here. We got a phone number. Craig, what's the phone number these motherfuckers can call if they want to leave a good word for your homies?
It is 973-370-3115. That's 973-370-3115.
I get it. I run New York.
He's still on that.
So when your beard's kind of struggling and you need to come proper, who do we go to, Big Chris?
You guys are gonna head over to thebeardstruggle.com, get all your beard struggle needs. You know, keep it looking nice and luxurious like mine.
Bye.
Can you guys over at beardstruggle.com, can you guys help me get one? Because
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
He about to tell you how.
Before I do.
He about to tell you how right now.
Got you. Just head over there. Make sure you use the code CH15. You get 15% off any purchase you want on there. Boom.
I get it.
And now you got it. Tell your fans on your Twitch what
I
you're
run
happy about.
New York.
Yeah, this nigga does run New York.
I run around.
I don't know if he's running anywhere. Sorry. I'm sorry.
I ain't trying to. In Roundhouse, and thank you for everyone that tuned into my Twitch and follow me on my Twitch. And
Fuck
my
that
Twitter.
raid.
Fuck the raid. Like, I'm saying this right now. I know we about to end, but fuck that raid, Iron Horse. That is some bullshit. Fuck
And
that.
while we were playing the game, they were like, "Oh, we gonna do some maintenance because they fucked up. Go fuck yourself." I
Nah,
fuck you.
fuck that raid. Nobody got past the second boss.
Except for Wids. Wids beat it. He came in second place.
And
Yeah,
lastly,
anyway.
But
Thank
anyway,
you for following on the Twitch. Make sure you follow me on my Twitter, which is here Roundhouse 84, and definitely tune in again. Trying to get me affiliated on my Twitch. So keep the followers coming, and we'll definitely have video coming up soon with me playing, and probably losing my mind because eventually I will play the raid.
again.
Eventually. No time soon, but eventually.
and
I'll
lastly,
play Call of Duty.
shout outs to our boy at Wild Bill's. It's a great freaking homemade soda company, straight here from New Jersey, right, Craig?
Long Hill, New Jersey.
That's right.
It is owned by some military veterans. So if you support their business, support the business who supports our country.
I get it.
They their cans of soda are basically 170 calories only. They are gluten free. They are vegan. They are low. What was it? They are no sugar, no additives, nothing like that. Just all natural flavors. So none of that extra bullshit that nobody needs to worry about. They have root beer, orange soda. They have orange vanilla cream. They have vanilla, black cherry, and that's about it.
That's right. Just remember,
And,
no bull, just bills.
That's right. And they're coming out with a new flavor soon. That's not a soda.
Ooh, interesting.
Ooh, should be coming out next week, but we'll see. But anyway, go over to wildbillsoda.com and get your mug on, as they say.
All right. All right. So we're gonna end it out with the roll call. I'm your boy, Sir Wednesday, aka Riz Yasendu, Scourge of the Internet, passing it on to my boy, looking like a R&B side score beat 'em up character. Talking to you, sir. Talking to you, Big Black Panther.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, who the fuck is talking?
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh,
Profile
me?
character and shit.
oh yeah. With the shout outs to like the Twitch and all that stuff, I totally forgot. I'm at DJ Storm Presents on everything. Twitter, Instagram,
On the Twitter.
all-
Put it right there.
That one next time.
Put it.
All right, man.
All right. You here? You ain't finished.
Oh, I'm here. Yeah, I'm here. A whole me, right? Yeah. I'm here. I'm Roundhouse. Signing off. See you later. Don't forget to tune in my Twitch. Juices. Booyah. Oh, and happy Pride. Booyah. Next.
I guess I'll sign off. Signing out. Man has no nickname. You already know where I be. Here every week, chilling. I'm gonna go ahead and pass it over to the ninja that's kicking it with you.
Ladies and gentlemen, freaks and geeks and children of all ages, thank you for joining us tonight on True Story, Bro. I'm the ninja that's kicking it with you, Echo Ninja, with my crew, the people. Peace.
People.
Wow, this is very awkward.
Wow.
We'll fix it in post. We'll fix it in post. Don't worry.
Don't you just love it that you can just say that? Yeah, we'll fix it in post. Okay. Yeah, we ended it. You can stop recording.
I'm just gonna leave the awkwardness there.
Yeah. It's just like, dumb fuck.